This Place Will Become Your Tomb by Sleep Token is an incredible album, but what are the details in the songwriting, in the musical performances, in the production that make it so good? That's what we're here today to find out. I'll be checking out the entire album from start to finish and highlighting any notable moments that I think maybe most people might miss that contribute to this being such a brilliant record. I've never noticed this before, but there's the sound of water here. How the fuck did I not notice that before? I've done this once before already for a Sleep Token album in Sundowning, and you can find that whole video on my Patreon page. This one, similarly, the highlights of this, the notable moments I pick up, most of them will be edited into a highlight video here on YouTube. But if you want the full unedited listen from start to finish with all the little nuggets of details, please do join my Patreon page at the Legend tier, and you can have access to that and also the full Sundowning one as well. So this album, This Place Will Become Your Tomb, is the second album from Sleep Token. It is a brilliant album. But I think it's my least listened to of the three albums. Sundowning is a special place in my heart, being the first album I heard from Sleep Token, and it just blew my mind when that came out. And This Place Will Become Your Tomb was the second one. Very good. I loved it when it first came out, but it sort of got eclipsed by Take Me Back to Eden, which I just thought is one of the best albums of all time. So I'm really looking forward to checking this out again and actively listening to this and not having it on in the background, as we're going to do right now, to perhaps rediscover some of the love for this album. I know already, I'm so excited for picking out the details in Alkaline. It's one of my favorite songs by them. Hypnosis is incredible. It's quite a varied album, actually. And I also wonder, at the time of this recording, Emergence and Caramel off of the new album, even in Arcadia, have come out so far. I wonder if maybe there might be some breadcrumbs in this album that maybe I noticed about the newer sound. Who knows? I don't really know what I'm going to discover. But anything that is really interesting, I'll be sure to try and highlight as we go. So, first song, Atlantic. Fucking 35 million listens. And go. Fucking beautiful. There's such a variety of loudness of the notes. Sometimes hard hammers, other times super gentle. That gives it character. Lovely bit of reverb on the vocal. Gives it that church-like purity. Laid on the consonant. Very repetitive melody. Perhaps on purpose, like waves in an ocean. A little tone rose up just for that moment, and it's sustaining here. Also, I've never noticed this before, but there's the sound of water here. How the fuck did I not notice that before? Literally never noticed. Waiting for the consonant at the end. Vessel's so conscious of the rhythm of the vocals, not just the notes. Oh, that little gasp of breath. An emotional intake. Left. These are really subtle details, but those additional vocals, they're coming in left pan on its own. And it almost sorts of arcs to the middle, and then right pan. When I say pan, I mean like left headphone, right headphone. Surround sound choices be made there to add a bit of three-dimensional interest to the sound that you're hearing there. And this button. And that booming bass note. And that tone underneath. Oh, I love the tension that this builds. Just know something's coming. I mean, we know what's coming if we heard the song before, but still. There was no tease in from 2 on the drums. It just came in on the first beat of that section. So you got same vocal melody. But now with a full band, it's like an ocean in a hurricane. Organized chaos. Ooh. There's an extra vocal underneath this. So there's the melodic singing, and then there's a kind of slightly produced, narrow spectrum, taking the place of what a scream vocal might do underneath, but there's got an edge to it. When the oceans recede. There's a little bit underneath. Very subtle layer. Love the harmonies to this. And that additional voice of Vessel. Like really quiet in the mix. You might not notice if you had this on speakers in the corner of your room, just in the background. But it's just adding a little bit of almost improvised ribbon-like melody. To Drew Fortune's credit, I've enjoyed that song more. Actively listening to that. Oh, this song's so fucking good. It's a cool jittery delay effect on the guitar here. Ah! Listen, I'm a big fan of a simple drum fill. Just it's not like it's just on the what we call it, eighth notes. I guess they're 16th notes, but it's fucking brilliant. I want to go back to that. Great setup. Just meatiness from the full band of the guitars right from the off. Oh. Oh my god. Fucking love Vessel's. Again, the consideration here is not just hitting notes of a melody. There's expression in this. He's choosing to lean into or drag out certain consonants to give it this kind of creepy, unsettling sort of delivery. Oh, I think so cool. And then 2 on the drums, doing some great funky, flicky things on the hi-hat, which I'm loving. Oh, that exhale. The drum details are... The drumming on this is unfucking believable. Oh. That extra synth line coming in, somewhat buried in the layer. A subtle extra vocal line here. It's almost just an exhale of breath, but it lands somehow at the end. It changes. It's like saying, hear that? Weird. It's creepy as fuck. choir of harmony coming in here. Presumably Aspera. The way he did, it's not even... Normally, you'd expect that sort of thing at the end of... Oh, if you're listening to metalcore, going to scream. He does this kind of like high, almost anguish exit out of that one. Interesting. Everything's crescendoing beautifully. Choir's doing most of the lead repetition. It's all a flurry of busyness. That high note is glorious. Here we go. It just rips down into simplicity. Two's just on the fucking beats. Fucking disgusting. That guitar bend. There's also this high synth. It's like way up there, just constant in the background here. Way, I'm sorry, but this way almost dogs can only hear that. But there's that high whistle sound, just really, really high up there. It's interesting. Creepy. Such a crunchy guitar sound. Dotted quavers on the cymbals there. And a creepy little instrument to finish. Like at a haunted fairground. And an ambient tone rises up. Really unsettling song, actually. But I guess being hypnotized is an unsettling concept. Jeez. The depth of that. Alright, mine. Quite different next. I'm born to believe. Really interesting choice. You could very easily just go, well, we'll use a piano under this, like in Atlantic. But they haven't gone for piano. They've gone for fuck knows what. I don't know all the instruments in the world. But I'm thinking about Caramel, their more recent song. They used a kalimba. Someone said in the comments, so I'm going to believe that they're right. Marimba, let me know the simple instrument. There's some other thing which gives it a sort of jaunty, bright texture that a piano wouldn't have. Piano might anchor the whole thing in a maybe a darker, more meaningful tone. It's an interesting choice there. I am certain, no. And there's not that much vocal production on Vessel here. It's a much more stripped back, raw, like immediate input into the mic here, I think. Which I love when that happens. But he's got extra backing vocal from himself doing the you underneath that sort of echoes out to add a bit of depth, and that's got a bunch of more production on that. And it echoes. Oh, there's the most delicate of exhale after that. The first several times I've heard this, I thought it was basically mine and then silence. And then the next thing, but it goes mine. Listen out for that. Mine. Little exhale. The drums just kick to snare. Ah. Ear candy. Whatever that fucking keyboard is. That's a very electronic drum sound for the kick and the snare. But there's an offbeat cymbal, which I think is a real cymbal. Some of the details from 2 on the offbeats are amazing. Vessel's voice broke beautifully in that moment. The delicacy of this. There is an instrument backing it up. Iconic Vessel vocal improv over the top. And the drums! Oh. Ah! Changing the feel there just for a moment. The dynamics from the gaps. Guitars. Gap. Back in. Still in. Still in. Gap. So entertaining for the ear. There's pain in that improv. And the precision of the other vocal here. Oh. Chills. There are 2 vocal tracks here, at least. I've not noticed the second one before. There's the main one. The obvious one that's kind of in the middle range. There's a low supporting one that's really subtle and very exactly matching the other one, but I don't think it's done via vocoder. I think it's its own take to add a little bit of low grit underneath. So hard to pick up. Just to provoke. It's in that kind of range, just low down. Really interesting how subtle that is. And there's that synth. There's a sort of juddery delay sort of effect to that, which is not dissimilar from what the guitars are doing earlier on in this album. It's quite cool. Oh, the tension here. A creepy vocal. Oh, the pregnant pause of that, waiting for that kick to hit. There's a few vocal lines here. There's the main obvious high, mid to high range one that peeks through. There's also harmony underneath, and there's a lot of whispering, like extra layer there, just adding a bit of unstable creepiness to it all. No, that's just in there, just peeking out of the layers. You can hear it prominently there because of the space around it. So much to take in, so many details. Now those vocal lines are more prominent. But the lead vocal is now ripping over the top. Let's go. All those hi-hats. Machine-like squeaks. It's a creepier album than I remember. They're kind of pitch shifting that down a bit at the end there. And it sort of echoes into the distance. Odd. Got a little EDM drum moment. Hints at a pace that doesn't come. Really church-like with the reverb. And the harmonies gospel-like. Whew. And a chord from Vessel's backing. Delicate, almost jazz-like here. With the drums. And the snare sound they've gone for here is quite chilled. Oh, so tastefully done. Oh, the use of the bell there is fucking so good. And the harmonies Vessel's good himself here. We've gone for like that hand clap, it's a digital one. With lots of reverb on it too. A lot of repetition in this song, melodically as well. Which I think on first listen I might have thought like maybe it was a little bit irritating how much they're repeating it. But I think thematically it makes sense. If he's basically like, I'm still here, I'm still full of love you, I'm still here, like I'm not going anywhere, like I'm still, it's that repetition sort of reinforces that idea, potentially. So many vocal lines. Delightful. And that quietness before it hits makes the impact even bigger. And now the snare has more impact here. Different snare sound. Oh yeah. The guitar is adding some depth as well. When I first heard this song, I was shooketh. It's like it's just vocals the whole way. Immediately I'm reminded of Imogen Heap, who basically originated this successfully as a big hit song in her song Hide and Seek. I don't think since then there's been a song that's been as prominent with the use of this. I'm probably wrong. Let me know in the comments. Love to hear some more. Because it can be a gorgeous effect when done well, which I think they do in this. In a city of ice, there are burning cathedrals. I'm so sorry I hit pause again. But quite sure that how this works, if you've not seen or used this before, I've seen this done. You have a microphone and you have a keyboard. And the microphone goes into the keyboard. So the keyboard uses what you put in the mic as vocal input for the sounds that the keys will make. So I could sing a note and it will take that vocal sound. And if I hit a different key that's not that note, it will play that same vocal sound back to me in a different key. So Vessel could perform this on a keyboard and vocals with the keyboard just taking the vocals in and adding that vocal sound to make those harmony effects from that one vocal that comes in. Hope that makes sense. I'll restart it for the third and final time. Go. In a city of ice, there are burning
is into glass.
Again with that late consonant. Such a vessel thing.
That hearts at the wounds of the past. So won't you fall for me? Won't you fall for me?
The reverb here is fucking gorgeous.
Won't you fall for me? Won't you fall for me?
Like sorry for the pause. Anytime he stops, fall for me, and there's a little gap. In that gap, it isn't pure silence. There's a little, there's a sort of reverb tail that's just a gorgeous little detail.
To the rhythm of eternity, won't you fall for me? My insecurity.
So that's a post-production moment they've done there. They've had the vocal essentially go up in volume. Maybe one bit that they'll loop and have that go up. It's kind of a nice sort of tease into what's coming. Also, I do wonder, I don't think this is entirely just one lead vocal and vocoder keyboard effects. I think there's also separate recorded harmony lines in here as well, because some of them are just too clear a human voice, I think. But this.
My
very cool.
Surround me like that. I never think of you in all this screaming silence. Oh God, I wish you were here. So won't you?
Now, this part here, I've always found a little bit jarring. Because it's clear it's a very different vocal kind of recording and production. It sort of comes in out of the side of the song. It feels like almost like I could feel the clip of it within the audio editor. But sort of similar to when that second verse starts in, there's a sort of there's a rush up of sound as he comes in, which maybe attempts to hide the awkwardness of coming in. But listen to this again.
Screaming silent. Oh God, I wish you were here. So won't you?
But perhaps the reason it sounds so different is because it's a very different volume. Like that's Vessel belting into a microphone, which the rest of it is kind of intimate and relaxed. So perhaps they've had to have a different take to account for that, the volume of that. And maybe that gives it that different sound. And there's also a descending harmony additionally done, which is not done vocodery style, I don't think. I think that's a raw one.
Oh God, I wish you were here.
Yeah.
So won't you fall for me? Won't you fall for me? Through a fractured existence.
Maybe that's the only part of the song where it doesn't have the vocodery keyboard effect.
Won't you fall for me? Fall for me. Won't you fall?
That's more seamless, that version of it there.
Fall for me. Fall for me.
And then at the end, everything just goes to zero except the main lead vocal for very intimate for me. And also the chord progression of this, it does sound like, makes me think of an organ in a church for all kinds of reasons, but I think the chord progression as well, it is that sort of pace of an old church-like hymn.
Won't you fall for me?
That last me is very intimate. I love this song. This is such a good representation of the range of Sleep Token sound in one song, I think. You've got the synth, that whole thing that's quite prominent, but also there's a low ambient kind of synth underneath. So spacious. The synth is sparingly used. So you can focus on the lyrics and the vocals. Interesting percussive sound there. There's also a really subtle, almost like there's like you'd rattle a matchbox with one match in it. Subtle. too on the digital percussion, but this,
Ooh, let's talk about chemistry.
what a lead in.
Dying to melt through
And the fucking sickness of these drums.
molecules till the particles part.
And the guitars sound amazing.
She walks around anything. She's an undiscovered element.
So badass,
Born in hell or heaven sent.
but menacing.
The way I'm into it.
And the kick on every single eighth note, except for the snare. So it's there's a synth there underneath. So consistent in this album, they'll repeat and layer and layer and add in these bigger moments. They do a little less repetition in tpwbyt, I think. Lovely harmonies. Then we break. And again, we're using the breath. Like a creepy fucking monster villain or something. Its size is like fucking wild. Let's get back to that. Like a beast. Lots of it still going. Snarling. Panning left to right, the headphones. Curious, like piano sampled sort of sounds lined up in an electronic way.
And I know I can tell I'm falling for
Now, a more acoustic piano doing this bit.
again. It's far too late
Late consonant again.
for me. 'Cause I am broken into fractions.
Interesting here, they've used a kind of delay on the vocal. I am. Which gives it the audio, I guess, support or reinforcement that perhaps he's sort of yelling into the abyss, you know, into a massive space. Like it's echoing back, no one's listening. It's kind of gives it a loneliness, the fact you hear all those echoes playing out afterwards.
Oh, and I am transformed.
That line, that's too late for me. Very different production of views on that one. It's too late. There's a buzziness to it. That's an interesting choice.
I could
'Cause that's a line that comes later on in the song, repeated.
cause I
Sort of foreshadowing it. There's this too late for me. Without the buzzing effect on it. So pretty. Oh, that chord progression. And other vocals weaving in and out. The power of that last one. Then back to the start. Sounds like the song of a man having a mental collapse. It's mad. Staticky buzz to that. I don't use traditional instrumentation sounds for like a rock band. You know, this is electronic. It's a very electronic album.
Just take it all
Weird sounds in there.
for nothing again. Create
There's a staticky flutter in here.
you just don't feel the same. I asked
Again, there's a vocal underneath his main one, a low vocal that's pretty matching exactly what he's doing. Perhaps, I remember hearing that earlier on in this album, that might be done in post. That might be an effect you add to a vocal line that kind of mirrors it, but it's separate enough in the note that you can hear it, but it's super subtle. You have to really listen in for it.
you answered, but you eat your words in frame. And
Incredible amount of vocal effect on this. Hard to understand the words. Been left no choice. Two is in on the pads. Yeah, there's kind of vocoder effect here. Looping vocal underneath. But a few moments of that in this album. Two vocals doing different things. Overlapping each other. Such a kaleidoscope of sounds in this. Complex the way it fits together. And this, the production of the drums here is odd, metallic, rustic. Those like snare and kick and cymbal sounds. Bastardized by fucking around with the audio. It's cool.
you guide me to safety.
Such a kind of Deftonesy vibe.
And silence.
Cool effect on the piano. It's not the raw input. Or they've used a mic distance to give it that sound. Another gorgeous piano piece here. Reminiscent of Atlantic at the start. Love that! It's such a delicate vocal ending there. Like there's a bit of power here and there in the verse. And at the end he goes delicate, and almost doesn't even get the sound out because he's so frail about delivering it, which makes the impact of the band coming in. Let me drop off the volume. That swing is huge. Delicate. Bang! This is almost a cluttered sound. There's so much in here. You've got piano hitting out chords on beats. You've got a kind of a lead guitar, basically resonating notes out over the top, and a kind of big ass bass underneath, kind of doing some odd note progressions. And they almost fit together to almost don't. It's kind of a lot. It also sounds a bit like Loathe. Lovely bass part here. But the hi-hats of 2 are taking it for me. Changing that feel. Additional vocal, improv in the background. So much brighter, more glorious overall tone over the same chaotic drumming that you'd find in like Hypnosis, which was a much darker tone. But this is almost hopeful. And that's all in the musical choices. The chords and the melodies are going on there. The actual notes themselves create that sound and that impression emotionally as a listener. This almost sounds like an orchestra. Like fucking Debussy or something. With like violins kind of tuning themselves. Swelling up. I mean, this is a stretch potentially. But thinking of that, Debussy had a famous piece called La Mer, which is like 3 songs that kind of connect together. This is all about the ocean, you know? The Atlantic. The theme of the album is very oceanic. Maybe it is a nod to Debussy's La Mer. I don't know. It's just a thought I had. Moving on.
For the time being,
just back and forth, up and down to his notes. And now sort of high string comes in. It's beautiful, like these melodies, they just ride like waves. Maybe the La Mer Debussy thing's got some legs, I don't know. Now side stick it on the snare here from 2. That clickety clackety sound. Guitar, the main body of the instrument here. Oh, the bass comes in. Now he's moved on to a cymbal. Different tone. Great fucking tom-tom work. While keeping the cymbals going. Never missing that snare. Ah, the anguish in that voice.
I will admit my defeat again. I will accept that I can't pretend we will ever be together.
It's just captivating. You can't help but just tune the fuck in. God, the fucking tone of these guitars. The simplicity of it. Synth flares, gone. Guitar, drums. There's some ambient layer. Oh. Jeez, and then they've echoed that voice out. sort of wind-like ambience. It's just getting louder. And the vocals coming in. And then ending on that piercing note. Sheesh. Last song, quite different from the rest of this record. I couldn't believe it when I first heard this. I'm like, we get like an acoustic song? What the fuck? I love this song. It's just gorgeous. You can hear the motion on the strings, not just the notes that resonate. I love that.
Just to let me know, if nowadays the outer realms of heaven don't keep up on the charm offensive anymore, failing to remind you what you're living for. Now I'd give anything to borrow your indifference.
What's interesting, sorry for the pause, is that like I'm trying to figure out what they've done with the vocal here, because there is effect on it. It's not just the raw vocal input to the mic. It's almost like an immediate slapback from the walls in the room, and you can hear it in that sort of consonant-y sounds. It's like there's a sort of slapback. It's not quite delay. It's not quite. If it is reverb, it's like really short. It gives it like an intense closeness, I think, in a way that without that you might not feel.
I drink you in to temper your belief in all my promises, to swallow my desire and choke on it, 'cause it still makes my blood run.
But it's pretty raw vocal,
Remember what they did before,
with not much odd effects on it,
stories that you never told to me.
which I love. Oh, the quietness.
Oh, but worry not.
And the piano accompaniment.
Blessings rain like bottles in the heavens, Lord.
Ah,
Our polite advances won't last for long. The eager apprehension is where I know.
lovely chords. Gosh. Yeah, that just the gorgeousness of that ribbon-like vocal over the top. Tempo slows. And it's a weird ending here, isn't it? As I recall. It just gets louder and louder and then just cuts. Sort of a looped. The static increases. Like a skipping digital record. Water sounds? Maybe? Nope. That last little crunch of static. Fucking creepy. It's like yeah, this heartbreak, this beauty, and then a really unsettling tone at the end. That album, I think maybe what it is, it can't really be listened to lightly. There's so much despair in it that there is some despair in other albums of Sleep Tokens, but the amount in this one I think is very pointed, and the experimentation that they've done sonically here with so much electronic, especially with later songs there in that series. What was it, Distraction perhaps? Actually, there's tons throughout of it. There are really harsh sounds in there, and there's so much repetition of melodies that often will have the full acoustic drums and the bass and guitar supporting that. So this massive sound. You've got dueling vocal lines, and you've got choir, like maybe a sparrow doing some harmonies and things. It's an assault for the senses, and I think maybe I'm just trying to work out why I don't listen to this as much as the other albums. I think I have to be in a sort of open and welcoming mood for the onslaught of sound that this particular album has. It is a challenging record for all kinds of reasons. is absolute beauty, and there's incredible tasteful moments within it, and just ear candy, as I said often throughout this re-listen. But I think it's a challenging one. There's so many different tones throughout this album. The songs are very different from each other, all of them. There are a couple of moments that hint at other ones, but mostly every new song that comes along, as you skip to the next one, is almost an entirely different soundscape of expression. And that, I think, makes it really interesting and full-bodied. But gosh, is it a lot to take in. So interesting. And what I do like, though, is that it's different from Sundowning, and it's different from tpwbyt to Eden. You know, that this is a interesting stepping stone amongst that trilogy of albums. And as per fucking usual, there are all kinds of subtle little details in there that I've picked up on for the first time ever here. Like the water effect sound in Atlantic, how did I miss that before? Or so many moments of breathiness in the gaps where almost there's no sound at all, but there's an intentional exhale. Like you could, in your editing suite, just cut that out. But they didn't. I would love to have a chat with George Lever at some point and ask about some of those details. Because there's so much intentional detail within this. And having listened to this band for as long as I have and enjoyed their music, so little of that seems accidental. It seems very purposeful. And it's absolutely fascinating. Well, I've enjoyed that. And I enjoyed Atlantic more than I expected to. Drew might be happy to hear that one. Missing Limbs is so fucking gorgeous, but so heartbreaking. And such an odd ending. I remember thinking this when I first heard it. I'm like, but I want to just loop that song, but I don't want to loop that disturbing, staticky ending thing. So yeah, a challenging record. But, filled to the brim with interesting details. Gorgeous moments. Reverb to the high heavens in a lovely way. And it was interesting. They definitely did some experimentation with this. And it's a fascinating piece of work. Wow. It's also given me a bit of pause as we're about to have a new album. We've had Emergence. We've had Caramel. Don't know what's coming next. Those two songs have a similar sort of soundscape within them. So I don't know whether the rest of the album will have much divergence from that. But this album's sort of a reminder that it could. We really have no idea what they might do in future. They're very good at subverting expectations. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But hopefully you've enjoyed this. I certainly have. It's something special. Sleep Token writes great music, but it really shines when you actively listen to it without distractions. Just pay attention to details and how the song takes you on the journey it wants you to do intentionally, depending on the tone and the melodies and things. It's hard not to feel the emotions of the music is presenting to you when listened to in this way. And it's a powerful experience. It's quite a fucking record. But yeah, if you did enjoy this and you want to check out the entire unedited version of this, if you check this out on YouTube with the highlights, do consider looking at my Patreon page. There's this and the Sundowning album in full, analyzing as much detail as I can on a full listen through. Hopefully see you over there. And then also, I'll be checking out the new Sleep Token songs when they come out. So do subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Even in Arcadia, it's going to come out some point soon, and I'm very much looking forward to delving into that as a first-time listen, but also I'll pick up on as many details in that as I possibly can as I check that one out. So thank you for spending the time with me here today. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you noticed, maybe I didn't, or some new things I've pointed out that perhaps you didn't hear before. I'd love to hear what kind of value you got out of this as well. Thank you for listening or watching, all the above. Hopefully I'll see you in another one of these videos very soon.